In today's video, I'm going to be removing the engine from the transmission finally, and then breaking apart the engine, kind of seeing, how it looks like when it's all in pieces, and see if there's any more damage besides the two pieces that I stated in the last video, and also an update on the engine that I actually already purchased. As of recording this, I already purchased it, so yeah, I'll give more update on that. First, what I'm going to be doing to try to remove this engine is, at the same time, I'm going to be jacking up the transmission, and to be symmetric also with the cherry picker to come off at an angle, because if you saw my last video, I only have this bolt right here, and if you can see at an angle right over here where my finger's pointing, there is the last bolt that's connecting the transmission to the engine, which is for the bolt that also connects to the starter as well. So alright, so if you see anything missing, the engine's finally out. I am sweating bullets here, so it did take me a little while because I had to maneuver the transmission and the engine hoist, try to do my best to try to get at a right angle so I can kind of push off. And because I am limited to right here, it's not as easy for me just to pull it straight back because I have this wall here. So what I had to do is pretty much lift the engine hoist, the engine all the way up here, and then push it that way. So I moved the Q7 outside, and here it is in all its glory. So two things for the reason why I'm tearing down the block, even though I cannot reuse it. The first thing is I'm just curious to see if there's any more damage that's been done to the block because of the hydrolocked. And then the second thing is, for those that are not familiar with the B6, B7 platform with the V8, if you've never seen an engine apart, I think this would be a cool thing to see, what it looks like on the inside, and the process and all the stuff that goes along with it. So, and if you're really familiar with the B6, B7 platform, tearing these things apart 100 times, I'm sure you're just watching this just to waste some time. So I think that's everything I have to say. So like I said before, I'm gonna go ahead and tear down all the accessories. So I'm gonna do remove the headers, the mounts, the starter, the flywheel, the coolant pipe right here, the headers on this side, the AC compressor, and all that fun stuff before I go into tearing down the block. I have pretty much all the accessories off except for the water pump. So obviously on this side, the alternator goes right here, the starter, the engine mount, and then for me it's the headers. Still got the flywheel and the clutch still attached. The power steering's off, the engine mount, this side of the headers. I still have the water pump. I'll probably just leave the water pump on, and also the coolant pipe that crosses over, that is gone as well. So here's both of the headers, passenger and driver's side. The power steering, one part of the engine mount and the other part, but the actual engine mount, I just have it on the car for right now. And then the AC compressor and the starter. Here is the coolant pipe that crosses over to the other side of the engine, and here's the little dipstick assembly right here. There is one thing I want to add when it comes to removing the headers, so compared to OEM. So without trying to confuse myself and confusing you guys, so there are 3 companies that do headers. The first one is JHM, and within JHM there's 2 types of headers. There's version 1 and there's version 2. I have the version 2 header, so it's the most up-to-date design. And then the second company is Excess Power, and then the third company, so this company, it's called Twitler Performance, and from what I last saw on their page is they're coming out with the new header design. So I really can't speak for Twitler Performance or Excess Power or the JHM version 1. I can only speak for the JHM version 2 headers because that's what I have. So with the problem that they're not much of a problem, but just a little hassle with the version 2 headers is when you have to remove them, because it's very kind of somewhat in a way inconvenient when you have to remove things. And out here I'll show you as to what I mean. So on this side is the passenger side. So obviously for the side, let's talk about if you want to try to remove the starter. So to remove the starter, if that has to happen, it's just nearly impossible, because I think you have to move the bracket for the engine mount. In order to do that, you can access this bolt easily. You can access this bolt right here, but like in the other side, this bolt right here is covered by this pipe right here. So it's just not as easy. And also to get to these bolts, even the top ones are easier to get to, but the ones that are in the bottom, you gotta be very creative. Like I said before, you gotta be really creative on how to use the tools and have the right tool to get to those bolts. But yeah, that's my only I guess you can say a complaint. If they could have redesigned the route, but I know it's not easy because it's such a compact space for this engine, and having these headers. If you have the OEM headers, those are easy to work with because it's just so compact that it doesn't have all this bulkiness. So that's like the one benefit, having those OEM headers, because it's just easier to work with, to be able to access all you wouldn't have problems with the mounts. And also it doesn't matter which order you do the installation or when you're removing parts, because it's just so easy. But when you have these headers, you got to remove the headers first and then the accessories. And when it comes to installation, to install the accessories first and then install the headers last. And one more thing I want to say about the headers: while the headers are out, I'm gonna go ahead and also wrap the headers in heat wrap, and these are actually ceramic coated professionally, so I'm gonna leave it as is, and with the additional heat wrap, I've heard several places online that it's like it's either one or the other. You either heat wrap it or you use ceramic coat. In this case, I just did ceramic coat, but I did not heat wrap it. But on this time, I'm just gonna go ahead and do them both. Just heat wrap it to have that additional heat reduction in the engine bay, because I do live in Texas now and it's really hot here, so might as well to keep temps in the engine bay somewhat lower. So this right here is the clutch, the whole clutch assembly. So this right here is your pressure plate, right down there is your clutch disc, and this right here is your flywheel right here. Here's the recap. So this is the pressure plate right here removed. Here is your clutch disc, and it goes in this way. And then here is my flywheel that I have. The OEM flywheel is not this. This is the 034 Motorsports lightweight flywheel. So this is what I have. If you've never taken out the clutch before, more than likely you have the dual mass OEM flywheel. It's going to be a slightly different setup than what you have compared to what I have. So pretty much all that's left is to remove these bolts right here. And yeah, so then the whole clutch assembly will be off and gone. Fairly simple, honestly. A little bit more so you can kind of see the clutch, how it looks. I'm kind of debating going back and forth, because when I bought this is a RS4 clutch assembly. So I might get a new clutch, since while I already have it out, I might as well. I don't know if I'll stick to the RS4 or maybe upgrade the clutch, but in due time I'll see what choice I go with. So this is the back timing cover right here, and if you notice, I have some writings here from when I did the timing last time, just to let me know the size bolts and what type it was. So like right here I have TL, so this was a torque, and it was a long one, torque long one. So here where it says A, this is an Allen. The torque short. So that's what this is. Right, if you've been noticing the writings, that's what I label to remind myself which, because there's so many bolts here, and it's just, you don't want to get yourself confused with where goes which. So so if you are doing this for the first time, go ahead and label what, if it's a torque or an Allen, and if it's a long or a short one. The whole clutch assembly is off. I have the whole clutch right there. I'm going to store that, put that out of the way. And one thing, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but a good idea is to, label a bag with what bolts and where they belong. So here I have a clutch assembly. So I have 6mm, 6 of them, and then 8mm all Allen screws, so bolts, I mean. So yeah, so it's a good idea to help you keep organized. And if the bolts can't go back on to the part that it goes on, like for example, I just put the bolts where they belong on the car. So just to keep things organized, because there's no point having like a pile of nuts and bolts, and when it's time to put everything back together, you don't know where they go. So just a good rule of thumb if you're really doing this for the first time, just to help you organize. Now that I have kind of like the boring stuff out of the way, and now here's the moment of truth. I'm gonna start removing the valve covers, both valve covers, and obviously both the heads. So so on this side, so far I haven't noticed any damage around the engine block. The only damage so far I've sewed is just this, and then on that side of the oil cooler side. And so like I said, remove the valve covers, both sides, and then go ahead and start removing the heads, and then just work our way down the block. So there's both valve covers and the bolts that go along with the valve covers. So here is what the block looks like without the valve covers. This is the driver's side. I don't see any damages at all on the driver's side, nor on the passenger side, where clearly there's damage in the cylinder. But as far as what I see from the valves, I don't see any damage. This right here, so this and this are your cams. The ones that are towards the center of the engine right here are your intake, for your intake, and the ones that are towards the outside are for your exhaust. So within the intake, if you see, there's 1, 2, 3. So for the intake there are 3 valves, and you can see down of the light, so there you can see 1, 2, 3 valves, and then the exhaust has 2 valves, and I don't think I'll be able to see in there, but yeah, there's 2 valves right there. So like as mentioned, so as the cams are going down, it pushes against this rocker arm, and you can see there's 1, 2, 3 for, like as we just saw, for the intake, and then for the exhaust there's 1, 2. So again, same process. That gives you a better idea of what it looks like inside underneath the valve covers. This is part of your timing right here, and this is your mechanical adjuster right here. So this is what's prone to, on the ends, when you break this apart, there's like a little notch that tends to like wobble or wear out. I'll post a picture somewhere on the screen so you can see what part I'm referring to, but this is it right here. As promised, an update on the engine. So after third try, third one's a charm. It is being shipped as we speak, so it is in transit right now, and it's actually not coming to my house first. It's actually taking a detour in Florida, and there it's gonna make a visit at AMTuned. If you haven't heard of that name, if you're part of the B6 B7 page on Facebook, then I'm pretty sure you've heard of the name AMTuned / or Alex. So that's his company. So pretty much what he does, he rebuilds these engines right here. And if you haven't, check out his page on the or his website too. And I'll link up his website on the description down below. But yeah, so he's gonna be making this new to me engine to be able to handle some more boost with the Supercharger. So I'm really excited about that. So I don't know how long the process is gonna take, because I'm sure he has other project that he's working on at the moment, but pretty excited with the new once it arrives. So I will not be building this new engine. Alex is going to be doing it, and I think it's better for him to do it, just because he knows what he's doing. And he's gonna do it right. So I'm really excited for this next engine. It's gonna be able to handle more boost, as mentioned. So yeah, so I'm really excited for when that comes. So for the time being, just gonna keep on taking this engine apart. And with that being said, I don't want this video to get too long, but in the next video I'll be going ahead and breaking that all apart now. So I'm just gonna stop it right there, and I'll end it here. So thank you for watching and have a good one.